Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Journey podcast. My name is Lisa.
And I'm Mark. We are so happy to have you with us today for a very special episode. The air is getting a little colder, the leaves are falling from the trees, and there's a feeling of excitement and mystery all around.
That's right, Mark. That's because tomorrow is October 31st, which means it's Halloween. This is one of the most fun and unique holidays, especially in countries like the United States, Canada, and Ireland. So today, we are going to dive into the world of Halloween.
Exactly. We'll talk about its history, the most popular traditions, and of course, we'll teach you a lot of useful English vocabulary along the way. Whether you celebrate Halloween in your country or not, this episode will help you understand the culture and the language associated with it.
Perfect. So let's start at the beginning. Mark, what exactly is Halloween?
Well, in simple terms, Halloween is a holiday where people, especially children, dress up in costumes and celebrate all things spooky and fun. The word spooky is a great one to start with. It means frightening in a fun way, or eerie. You'll hear it a lot around this time of year.
That's a great vocabulary word. S-P-O-O-K-Y. Spooky. The history of Halloween is actually very old. It has ancient roots. It started a long time ago with a festival called Samhain, celebrated by the Celts, who lived in the area that is now Ireland and the United Kingdom.
Right. They believed that on the night of October 31st, the border between the world of the living and the world of the dead became thin, and ghosts could return to Earth. To scare away the evil spirits, people would light bonfires and wear costumes.
It sounds very serious, but over hundreds of years, these traditions changed. When immigrants from Ireland and Scotland came to America, they brought their traditions with them. Over time, Halloween became less about spirits and more about community, fun, and, of course, candy.
Lots and lots of candy. So let's talk about the most famous traditions. I think we have to start with the most iconic symbol of Halloween.
I know which one you mean, the jack-o'-lantern. That's spelled J-A-C-K, then an O, then an apostrophe, and then L-A-N-T-E-R-N. A jack-o'-lantern.
So what is a jack-o'-lantern? It's a pumpkin that has been carved. A pumpkin is a large, round, orange vegetable that grows in the fall. To make a jack-o'-lantern, you first have to carve it. To carve means to cut something into a shape.
The process is a lot of fun. First, you cut a hole in the top of the pumpkin and you scoop out the inside. To scoop out means to remove the inside of something with a spoon or your hands. The inside of a pumpkin is full of pulp and seeds. Some people even roast the pumpkin seeds to eat as a snack.
After the pumpkin is empty, you carve a face into it. It can be a spooky face with scary eyes and a jagged mouth, or it can be a funny face. Then you put a candle or a light inside. When it gets dark outside, you light the candle and the face glows in the dark. It's a classic Halloween decoration.
It really is. I remember carving pumpkins every year with my family. It was always a competition to see who could make the scariest face. My dad always won.
My pumpkins always looked a little strange, but that's part of the fun. Okay, so from jack-o'-lanterns, let's move on to my absolute favorite part of Halloween, the costumes.
Yes, dressing up. A costume is a set of clothes you wear to look like someone or something else. On Halloween, people wear costumes of all kinds.
The classic costumes are usually monsters or supernatural creatures. For example, you'll see many people dressed up as a witch, a ghost, or a vampire.
Let's quickly define those. A witch is a woman in stories who has magic powers, often wearing a black pointy hat and flying on a broom. A ghost is the spirit of a dead person, and the costume is usually just a white sheet with holes for eyes.
Boo! And a vampire is a creature that drinks blood, with famous examples like Dracula. They usually have sharp teeth called fangs. But people don't just dress up for scary things.
Not at all. Children love to dress up as their favorite superheroes, like Spider-Man or Wonder Woman, or they might dress up as animals, princesses, or characters from movies. It's a chance to be creative and pretend to be someone else for a night.
And it's not just for kids. Adults love to wear costumes too, especially if they're going to a Halloween party. You see some very elaborate and funny costumes at adult parties.
Which brings us to the biggest tradition of all for children, trick or treating. This is a phrase you absolutely must know for Halloween, trick or treat. So, what is it? On Halloween night, children put on their costumes and go from house to house in their neighborhood. They carry a bag or a bucket. They walk up to a house, ring the doorbell, and when the person opens the door, the children shout, "Trick or treat!"
The phrase trick or treat is a fun threat. It means, give me a treat, like candy, or I will play a trick on you. A trick is a playful, mischievous act, like covering a house in toilet paper, though nobody really does that anymore.
Right. The trick part is just for tradition. The real goal is the treat. The person at the door will then put candy, chocolate, or other sweets into the children's bags. They go from house to house, collecting as much candy as they can. It's a very exciting time for kids. They come home with bags full of candy that can last for weeks. Parents usually go with their young children to make sure they are safe while they walk around the neighborhood at night.
I have so many good memories of trick-or-treating. I remember one year I dressed up as a robot. My dad made the costume out of cardboard boxes, and it was painted silver. It was so cool, but it was very difficult to walk in. I kept falling over, but I didn't care because I was getting so much candy.
That sounds amazing. I remember one Halloween, my sister and I dressed up as a pair of dice. We also used cardboard boxes. It was a simple costume, but everyone thought it was very clever. The best part was when we stood next to each other, people would try to guess what number we would roll.
That's a great costume idea. So, we've covered jack-o'-lanterns, costumes, and trick-or-treating. What else happens on Halloween in modern times?
Well, as you mentioned, Halloween parties are very popular for adults and teenagers. People decorate their houses. To decorate means to make something look more attractive by adding things to it. Halloween decorations are usually spooky.
Yes, you'll see things like fake spider webs, plastic skeletons, and hanging ghosts in people's yards and houses. Some people go all out and make their house look like a haunted house.
And a haunted house is another key term. It means a house that is believed to be visited by ghosts. For Halloween, there are also special attractions called haunted houses where you pay to walk through a scary place and actors in costumes jump out and try to scare you.
I'm not a big fan of those. I get scared too easily. I prefer another modern Halloween tradition, watching scary movies.
Me too. A lot of families and friends will gather to watch horror movies on Halloween night. A horror movie is a film that is designed to be frightening and suspenseful. Some people love the feeling of being scared, as long as they know it's not real.
So it seems like Halloween has something for everyone. For kids, it's about costumes and candy. For adults, it's about parties, decorations, and maybe a good scary movie. It's a day to embrace the fun side of fear.
Exactly. That was a lot of information. Let's do a quick vocabulary recap for our listeners. We learned some really important words today.
Let's do it. First, we have Halloween, the holiday on October 31st.
Spooky, which means a little bit scary, but in a fun way.
A costume, the special clothes you wear to look like a character.
Trick or treat, the phrase children say to get candy.
A jack-o'-lantern, a carved pumpkin with a light inside.
To carve, the action of cutting a face into the pumpkin.
A haunted house, a house with ghosts.
And some classic monster costumes, witch, ghost, and vampire.
That's a great list. And since this is English Journey, I think we should also teach a useful idiom related to being scared.
Oh, I love that idea. What do you have for us, Mark?
The idiom is to be scared stiff. If you are scared stiff, it means you are so frightened that you cannot move. It's like your body has become stiff, like a board of wood.
That's a great one. Can you use it in a sentence for us?
Of course, you could say, when the ghost jumped out at the haunted house, I was scared stiff for a moment. It just means you were extremely scared.
Perfect. A great idiom for our listeners to practice. Well, I think that covers all the basics of Halloween.